Okay, we're back.
Buddy Hackett is here again, and if there's anybody funnier in the world than Buddy Hackett when he is cooking, I don't know who it is. He's working, he opens, well, that means working, right? At the Riviera Hotel in Las Vegas, December the 13th. Would you welcome Mr. Buddy Hackett?
Last time I was on, it was so hilarious that when I went home and taped it, I didn't erase the tape.
You came over here and you said, I'm going to go over there and tell some jokes.
Say some jokes.
Why don't you do that? I'm going to just do a few jokes. You don't have to, you know.
When you talk out of that side of the mouth, I can't hear you.
Oh, over here.
So I'm glad. I'm glad that the show's now only an hour instead of an hour and a half. Because I'm in a rush to get home because I'm sex-starved. Which I'm now 57 years old. You wouldn't think I would be sex-starved, but I am. And, of course, a lot of people tell me 57 is middle age. How many people you know is 114? So, when I don't have sex for a while, I get a pain over the eye. I asked the doctor, why does it hurt over the eye from no sex? He said, the subconscious is embarrassed to put the pain where it should go. So, puts it over the eye, because if you walk around going, whoa, they give you a little aspirin, but if you walk around, whoa, they give you 30 days for that. So I'm in a rush to... You know, you couldn't do stuff like this years ago. When I've been on The Tonight Show. This is my 264th appearance on The Tonight Show. Either that or 15th, one or the other. And I was with Jack Parr years ago. And I remember one time I'm sitting with him and he said, we're going to go to Tokyo. We're going to go to Tokyo. Men and women take baths together in Japan naked. That was a big thing to say on television. They take baths there. Yes, they do. They really do. Whenever he thought he's being... When he's being naughty, he would shake. He said, men and women take baths together naked. Yeah. I said, we used to do it in Brooklyn without water. So he said, Hugh Downs and I were there last year, but we wouldn't go naked in the bath. We wore our jockey shorts. I said, well, if I go with you, I'm going to go naked in the bath. And a few months later, we're in Japan, and we're going to the baths, and he's got an NBC crew with him, and we're ringing the elevator. The bath is on the 5th floor. And I forgot I said I'd get naked in the bath, and he remembers it. Promise you won't get naked in the bath. Say you won't get naked in the bath. I said, okay, I won't get naked in the bath. I won't get naked in the bath. I got naked in the elevator. I don't know anybody in Japan. I figure you get to the 5th floor, the door opens, and voila. The door opened, I jumped out. We were in the lobby. It didn't go up. And there's about 150 Japanese on I said, if you can't see from where you are, come a little closer. You don't have to duck into things there. And then we went to Hakone. Hakone is about 84 miles from Tokyo, and you take the bullet train. And you go up to Hakone. And we went to the sumo wrestlers. Sumo wrestlers weigh 500-600 pounds. Jack's got a camera. He's filming the sumo wrestlers. He says to me, you want to have some fun? I said, yes. He said, you dress in a sumo outfit and you wrestle one of those sumos. I weigh 210, he weighs 600. Let's hear the part about the fun. He said, well, I'll have the camera. I said, why don't you put some feathers in your wango and light them on fire and run into the volcano, say, hi-ho, I'm a fire duck. How about that? It'll be a talkie. He says, are you afraid? I say, no. I was afraid, but I ain't going to tell him I'm afraid, see? And they dressed me in a sumo outfit, which is a little silk band around the waist. Then there's a silk loincloth dangling down, and it comes down between your legs, and it comes up, and it divides your cheeklies. And when they tighten that rope, You fight anybody. I mean, you really angry. First you say to the guy, hey, don't do that. Hey, tighten it up, I'll rip his ears off. Then I see that tightening his robe, too, and he says, oh, my shut, no, you man, no, rip it ear off. I tell myself, don't panic, Hack. You're smaller than him, but you're faster. It's in the rope. Get out there quick, loosen his rope, and you got him. And I run out there quick, and I grab his rope. I think. And he said, and he picked me up, and he threw me out of the ring. But first he kissed me goodbye.
Hello.
And I saw them guys on the train. They go to play golf. They were going to play golf up there in Hakone. And they're talking Japanese.
Yeah.
And they're saying to me, Ben Hogan.
They're huge, aren't they?
The sumo wrestlers?
Yeah, they're
huge.
huge.
Are you kidding?
One
guy was eating a Zeppelin.
A Zeppelin. Hors d'oeuvre, I suppose. We'll be right back after this. We're back talking with Buddy Hackett. And in a few moments, Rocky Graziano will join us. You know Rocky when you were, I don't know where somebody got this picture. Were you about this age?
How old?
When you knew Rocky?
Wow. Is that me?
That's you.
Oh, my goodness. What a nose.
Would that be about high school?
I think it was after high school. I didn't have any money when I went to high school to take a picture.
Yeah.
I think I was working in the Club Valley in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Club Valley, I was getting $87.50 a week in 1947. I think
2 shows a night, 3 on Friday and Saturday, I'll bet.
Well, any time a customer walked in, he said, get the show ready, get the show ready. One night I came to work and I didn't work for anybody. The boss quit. The boss went. There was only me and a bartender was there. Nobody else was there. And, well, who owns the club? Nobody. Whoever wants it. Nobody wanted it. Yeah. So the last guy out was the bartender. He had a bad leg. He had to keep the club.
Yeah. What's the worst experience you've ever had in your life in front of an audience? For whatever the reason, things just didn't do. I'm not looking for sad
not that
thing,
kind of
but
thing.
You know.
Oh, no, just a terrible thing. I was working in Grossman's Hotel in Lakewood. Well, it's not very pleasant, but I'm going to tell it to you anyway because you asked.
Well, I don't want to make it sad.
It ain't sad. It's gooky.
What do you mean gooky?
Well, I had a very bad cold. I was getting $30 for the night. My nose was really stumped up.
Well, maybe in that sense.
And I had to enter through the audience. And I was on stage and I gave one sneeze.
Oh, no. Don't tell me.
All right, well, that's it. I walked out again and got in the car and drove home and cried all the way.
Oh. Did you ever work an audience where they just didn't understand you?
Plenty of times. Are you kidding? The Golden Hotel in Hurleyville. I was 15 years old.
Golden Hotel in Hurleyville?
Yeah, I was working with a guy who I was a busboy, and he made me his comic, and he was a straight man. And went out, and we did the show that night, a couple sketches. He taught me some in Yiddish, some in English.
Right.
Nobody laughed. It was all Sephardic Jews. They only understood Spanish. And the boss came in, and I'd never seen a room before.
Right.
With a sink in the room. I thought that's the way it must be in Camelot. I thought that's how the people live when you're swell, to have a sink in the room. I didn't know other rooms really had a bath with it, too. So when I seen a sink in a room, I said, this is the big time. Yeah. And I was sleeping that night with the sink in a room after we did the show with no laughs, and the boss come over and he says, get out. I says, get out of bed? He says, get out of the room. Get off the premises. I'm going to call the state police. I said, why? He says, because you're not funny.
Like they can arrest you for that.
Yeah, then I found out if you're not funny, you can get arrested. But then I watched your monologue all these years, and I saw it was all a lie. Well, I was never too crazy about this show anyway. So.
Well, we're getting away with it for almost 20 years. You realize next year, 1982, we'll have been on 20 years?
20 years.
Yeah, in October. Oh, I didn't do it for that. The time goes by.
Is it true
The time goes by so fast.
that you've gone 20 years without a raise? Is that
That's
true?
right.
I don't know how you let them sucker you into things like that.
Look, when I
The way they take advantage of you, it's just not fair.
No, I've had nice relationships with NBC, really.
Sure
Oh,
have.
sure.
Every time you make the smile goes off your face, there's a new president over here.
Not true.
As soon as you say, I don't think I'm happy, a new set of luggage shows up in the executive suite. And the guy packs his 2 chrysanthemums and a little desk set, and he's off. Numi, come on, short no.
Sayonara. What do you want for Christmas? If you want to go out and buy yourself something now, let's assume you've been poor all your life.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you got a lot of money. What would you go buy yourself? Or what did you buy yourself the first time you had some money?
I don't know. I think
A good watch? Go out and get a good suit?
I think the first thing I
car,
did,
what?
the first time I had money, I made an invention on the bed spring. I was 16 years old.
What? That's your dad. Dad was an upholsterer.
Yeah.
Is that why?
And I made an invention on a bed spring, and my mother owed 4 months' rent, $40 a month rent. She owed 4 months. I made enough money. I paid the 4 months' rent plus another 8. I gave her a receipt for a year's rent, and she said to me, "You'll go to the chair." So, since then, I've never paid rent because I didn't know that was a criminal offense.
How long? Rocky's going to come out a couple more. How long?
I know Rocky since 1948. We met at the Neverly Country Club. I was a comic, and he was training for his second fight with Zale.
Yeah, that was one of the great fights of all time.
Oh, yeah.
One of the
I
great fights.
made up my mind to never be friends with a fighter after that, because when your friend's in the ring and he's whacking a guy and the guy's whacking him and you don't understand it that good, you get more pain than he gets at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was a kid, I used to box. I boxed for $3, but it was different. It was great big gloves, and you needed the $3, but
Yeah.
I didn't think that I wanted to see him get hit like that.
Yeah, it's a rough sport. He's a fascinating guy.
Yes, he is.
And amusing and funny. We'll be right back. Talk with Rocky in a moment.